Hey everyone, my name is Anna and this is Jules O'Neill, and we are the Wayfinders for the Cornwall Memory Cafe Network. We work with Disability Cornwall, and today this is our first podcast of many. We're going to start to share our experience, our questions, and share knowledge with you, that if you're a person out there who is a carer of someone that's living with dementia or memory loss, or you're someone that's recently started to experience the memory loss, and that journey can feel very lonely. And so we want to be an inspiration and a light and a sharer of knowledge and information that might support you in this journey.
Great. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I first found out about the memory cafes, because as we know, not everyone knows about them. So I originally started working as a happy innovator at Disability Cornwall. And the first memory cafe I went to was actually Bodman's Memory Cafe with Kirsty, our coordinator, and with Victoria, our previous Wayfinder, who's now on maternity leave. And we had a fantastic time. I absolutely loved all the people that I met. It was something that I found was just so inspiring to have in the community. And then I found out about the network. And then this role came up for the Wayfinder, if we could better support the Memory Cafe Network. And I was really excited about it and really wanted to do the job, and was offered the job. And I have to say, it's probably my favorite work that I've ever done. Actually, it's the most rewarding work I've ever done. And the people that I meet, the volunteers, the carers, the people living with memory loss or dementia, I find them so inspiring. And I just really want to share their stories and their experiences, and we hope that we are making a difference in their lives.
Wow. And just in case you've not heard of the memory cafes, they're scattered across the whole of Cornwall. So I cover all the way from St. Colin Major, Newquay, St. Eville, all the way to St. Just, to St. Kevin, and all the ones in between. And Jules is covering right the way up to Lost Withiel, and where else, Jules?
So I go as far as Saltash, so almost Plymouth, all the way to Bude, sort of Loo area, Camelford, Weybridge. We cover a big distance, don't we, together?
We do, and there's approximately about 48 to 50 memory cafes, and every single one is utterly unique, and yet they're run by volunteers, so nobody gets paid. It's total love that they're doing this. And the ethos really is creating community and a safe, warm, friendly, loving space for people in the community that are living with memory loss and their carers. Except you do find in most cafes, nobody's turned away, are they? But that is the focus. And so every session is different, but the themes really are that you'll always get some cake, tea, and coffee for free. This is why we're Wayfinders.
I've actually had to limit my cups of teas and coffees because I was having way too much caffeine.
And then they're inviting all sorts of entertainment to come in. For example, the other day, Cascade Theatre, incredible theatre that designed theatre to evoke the senses and the emotions. And the show that they're putting on at the moment is The Seasons. They have bands and music and singing and quizzes and all sorts of things in these cafes, and a real knowledge around how it feels to a lot of the people that are volunteers have loved ones that perhaps have had have passed away but have lived with dementia, memory loss, or they are carers of people with memory loss. Um, and so, yeah, they're an incredible service out there, and you can go online on on our website and find a memory cafe near you.
So let's tell you about the role of the Wayfinder. It's a very varied role. Every day is different. But some of the things that we do, obviously, we come to the memory cafes and we meet all the people who use the cafes. We help them with practical things. So that could be applying for any of the benefits that they're entitled to, like attendance allowance. Perhaps they need help applying for a blue badge, which we all know can be quite a long process. Sometimes we may go for a home visit and have a sort of holistic assessment and see the kind of things that they may need in their life to make things a bit easier for them. We can liaise with adult social care, organise assessments. We can advocate at your GP. Sometimes we have to call GPs on behalf of people at the memory cafes. Sometimes they feel they're not being taken seriously by a GP, especially if there's been a change in their loved one. Sometimes they just want to talk to a professional and be reassured, that this is part of the disease or this is part of the progression of the disease. So sometimes we organise that. It's really varied, actually. I've helped people get online, learn how to use Zoom. I've picked up people perhaps when a loved one can't take them to a memory cafe. It's a lot of different things we do.
And now we're aligned with and working with Disability Cornwall. What we find is that we've got this amazing source of expertise within this organization that we can all cross-pollinate support and wisdom and experience, expertise, as I said. So within Disability Cornwall, we have the carers advice line. So we're supporting carers all the time, emotional support, and as Jules was saying, sort of signposting. Sometimes when we meet somebody for the first time, it's like their first person that they've met on this dementia memory loss journey. And so the Wayfinder can be a little bit like a superwoman, superhero, where we're connecting them with all these different services and support that they have no idea is available to them. And as I said, Disability Cornwall, that they can support with carers to help them emotionally. We can connect them to places like Promas, who do events, emotional, therapeutic, very gentle events in on learning to live with dementia and different facets and etc. of dementia. The other aspects of Disability Cornwall is Dial, and Dial are incredible. You can literally ring them up because we find, a lot of services like going to the bank and all that sort of thing are being stripped away, and they're impacting the vulnerable and elderly the most. Dial can massively support an individual access all sorts of knowledge and information, advice about what benefits they're entitled to, and they are the top experts in that. So we can refer them to Dial. Recently, I've organised Dial to come out to a memory cafe and do like a kind of day or a morning where people were literally queuing up to find out what they were entitled to.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing the things that Dial can do. They're so knowledgeable. Recently, I did a referral for somebody at a memory cafe, and I found out that they managed to, with the support of Community Energy Plus, get them some oil. I mean, they didn't have any, and they've sorted that out for them. Without Dial, I wouldn't have known that was available. That wouldn't have happened. So the benefits of having Disability Cornwall closely aligned with the cafes is just unbelievable, really. It's going to make a big difference in people's lives, I think.
Amazing. So we're coming to a close now because we're going to do like little blasts and once a month. And you're very welcome if you hear us speaking to place questions to Jules and I, or subjects that you think are really important. We're open to people coming on with us and having a chat about your experience, telling us your story, because we believe that it's the stories that somehow are a light for other people going through similar experiences. So next session, we're going to interview the Purple Angel, and her name is Lynn, and she's an ambassador for the Purple Angels, who tell stories and give kind of really amazing support and advice again to carers and people living with memory loss. So we're going to interview Lynn hopefully next time, and we're also going to hopefully interview Sim, who is this amazing powerhouse of a woman who was the first ever memory cafe creator in Cornwall. So
She is an inspiration.
woohoo!
Definitely.
Okay, well, yeah, lots of love to you all that are listening, and we'll speak to you again next month. Goodbye from the Wayfinders.
Bye bye.